Thanks. So, in our today's session, I will go by the basic detail of the MySQL Server database. So, basically, MySQL database is a relational database management system that I already told you. So, this is owned by the Microsoft organization, and in a MySQL Server, we are communicate with the database using the T-SQL. So basically, T-SQL is a transactional SQL statement. So SQL, all of you know the SQL. So SQL is a structured query language. So basically, SQL used for the interact with the database means whenever we retrieve the data, whenever we loading the data, at that time we use the T-SQL for the communicate with the database. Okay. So in a might be in the interviewer ask you what is a T-SQL. Okay, or he might be asking for the RDBMS. So you understand that the Microsoft SQL Server is a relational database management system. So relational means the data will be in the form of the relation. Like for example, I will show you the this table. So data form of the, like for example, if you understand the student tables, in the student table data will be the relation like a roll number, student name is a column also related to each other. And for example, second table, it will also relate to each other. For example, student having the roll number, student name, department id, and department id in a second table as a primary key. So in this table, it will act as a foreign key whenever we refer the department table for the join this two table, then we join based on the this student id column. Okay, right. So that means the data will be related to each other, so is a form of the relational database. So basically, what is a database? So basically, database is a collection of the data. Okay, that's stored into the any system. Like we called as a database. We called as a like any warehouse. Okay. So basically, might be interviewer also ask you the database. What is the database? Is a database to the interviewer. Then the moving next, what is the data? So all the concept you already know, but I will revise this concept. Okay, so SQL I already discussed with you. Okay, so moving next, so basically for the connecting to the MySQL Server database, we need to install which of anyone guess which tool we need to install for the communicating with MySQL Server database.
SQL Server Management Studio.
Yeah, right, right. So typically, we need to install SQL Server Management Studio. So basically, I will show you the SQL Management Studio. I close my screen. So all of you getting my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So basically, this is the SQL Management Studio. I installed the latest version, the 20 version. Okay, so basically, this tool basically useful for the whenever any developer or any when we interact with the database, we connecting using the this tool. So it will be very useful whenever any developer work around that. So might be some fetching the data, return the data, or connect to the database using this SQL Server Management Studio and connecting via the TSQL command, right? So TSQL command basically is a transactional command. So that we run over the database and we fetching the data from the database. So this is a basic overview of the SQL Management Studio. We call it as SSMS. Okay. So when you install and when you connect, so first we need to go to the start and click on the MS SQL Server Management Studio. After that, this window will appear, right? So in this window, basically you need to have the connect to the server. So before that, we need to install SQL Server. So if you don't aware of that, you can check the. I will send you some the study material. and you can understand how to install the MS SQL Server. Okay, so this is the basic window. So in that, basically the database engine, server name. So and after that, authentication mode. So basically there is a two main authentication mode: Windows authentication mode, and second one is a SQL Server authentication mode. Okay, so I will not go for the deep as of now. Okay, so then there is some security ask for the security for the connection. So then you have to need to click on the trust certificate. Okay, then you need to connect. Once you connected, you connected to the SQL Server database, which is now installed in my local system. Okay, so some might be the whenever you work on any organization, there the SQL Server installed in your system, but you will get to connect to the database via the basically this is a local window, but when you connect in an organization, the database stored in any particular server, and might be you need to enter the IP instead of this, like 10 dot like that. Okay, so it will be you are directly going to that particular server, and you will get the login for that. And might be you will get the server authentication. In the server authentication, you provide the login ID and password. In the case of the whenever you use the login using the SQL Server authentication. Okay, so this is a basic for the connecting to the SQL Server, and for the selecting the new query, we need to click the new query. So it will be getting the new query for you. So once you connected, then it will be showing the query one, and you log in as the admin. This is the user right now. Okay, and currently there is only the system database. Okay, so next question might be interviewer ask you that explain me different the system database available in the MS SQL Server. If you want, you can write down this question, or if you recorded the session, it will be good for you. If anyone having the doubt till end, so please ask the question if you have, or otherwise we will move forward. Okay, okay, all of you understood, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, sir, I'm unable to connect SQL Server.
Sorry, sorry. Yeah, Akash, tell me.
I'm able to connect Microsoft Authentication, but unable to connect SQL Server.
Okay, okay. That will I will guide you end of the session. Okay. So that time you can present your screen, and I will guide you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So moving the next. So we will so basic the practical session we will conducting today. So basically, I have all of you my screen visible. You able to read the my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, so in one of the interview, so interviewer give you the basic question, like this is the table, this is the two table, and I want based on this table solve the below question. So first one is create a table, sorry, create a database name test. So I will go through one by one. So for the first question, for the creating the database, how we create a database? Anyone can anyone tell which command we need to write?
Create database.
Okay, okay. So first question is that, so in a SQL Server, okay, when you double dash, So that time this line will be committed. Okay, so it will not executed. Okay, so okay, for the creating database, so we need to create database test. So, okay, so I need to write test. And second thing, in a MS SQL server, okay, we need to not give the termination. Means many of you in a MySQL, we give the termination by the semicolon. But if suppose in a SQL server, if you not give the termination, then it will also work. Okay. So the now we have created the test database. So if you suppose if you check, then you can go for the database section, and if you check, there is a database created successfully. Okay, and basically below also the message you will get, the command completed successfully and the completion time. Okay, so this way we have created first query. In the second query, interviewer asks that create a table student with roll number, student name, department ID, marks, and assign a constraint as below, like not null for the marks. So basically, interviewer asks that key create this table. Okay, so while creating the table, you need to add some constraint. Like in the marks, this is the marks column. Okay, so in that marks column, it should not null. Okay, and also below also they give the key check, we need to check marks greater than -1. Means whenever we inserting any data in this column, it will be in a positive, not in a negative. Okay, so this is the first constraint we need to assign. Then second, primary key on the roll number. So roll number I will be added the primary key. Then third constraint is the default constraint. So in a department ID, default will be inserted 1. Okay, and like this is the four basic question we need to assign. Okay, so for the creating the table, so this query completed, then I copy this. So the second question, for the creating the table, we need to use query like create table. Then we need to put the table name. So in our case, the question asks for the create a student table.